The Jesus Trilogy, Book 1, The Four Messiahs, Chapter 43. Well, what do you think? Abel said. He was sitting on an apple crate, and the room was lit by only one lantern. As the men talked, the shadows were long and eerie. Barabbas had never been in this room before. He had never known of its existence, but the boy was now almost 12. His father finally thought it was time to trust him, and his father had sworn him to absolute secrecy. After all, Abel believed that if not he, then his son Barabbas was to be the Messiah. No matter that he hadn't been born in Bethlehem, maybe the prophets were wrong. One day as Abel was poring over the scrolls, he discovered the words by which he now staked his claim to the title Messiah. Out of Nazareth. Abel had been born in Megiddo, but his precious son had been born in Nazareth. As Abel read and reread the words, he became more and more excited. He dared not tell any of his fellow henchmen until the time was right. But as the son grew and developed, he finally found the time and place to tell young Barabbas. They were out fishing in a boat, just the two of them. He had rented it from Andrew, Peter's older brother. Peter was a year ahead of Barabbas, but they had become acquainted in school. Though not close, they considered themselves to be friends, despite Peter's reputation as a loudmouth. The boat rocked gently in the 5-knot southern breeze. Son, Abel asked, have you decided what you want to do with your life? What? Barabbas asked. What kind of work do you want to do when you're finished with school? Abel said, drawing out the word so there was no mistake as to what he meant. Football. I want to be a football player. I'll be rich, then I can make you and Mom rich too. What about after football? Abel asked. I can play football forever. He really loved football. What about that knee? What about it? Dr. Luke said you had stretched the ligament, maybe even frayed the cartilage. Did you pass your school physical for fall? That Dr. Luke's a quack. My knee's fine. All the same, you can't play forever. Well, if that happens, and it won't, I'll take care of your shop when you retire. Just then Barnabas had a bite. I got one. He tugged hard on the line and began to crank it in. Keep her taut, said his father, grabbing the net. It's a big one, Dad. Keep cranking, Abel admonished. I'm afraid the line will snap. No, it's strong. Just keep cranking. Barabbas cranked for all he was worth. Suddenly the big pike cut through the glistening surface of the water, fell back and hit the water with its belly, making a loud crack. The resultant splash sprayed water into Abel's face. Keep cranking, son, he yelled, as rubbed his eyes to clear the water and dipped the net under the surface. I got it. It was the biggest pike either of them had ever seen. What a fish, Abel cried, easing back to the rest. He hadn't done even any cranking. Man, Barabbas said, exhausted. The fish flopped around on the bottom of the boat, further tangling itself in the net. As they both reached down to start untangling the fish, they accidentally bumped heads. Ouch, Barabbas said. You okay, son? No, I'm tired now. I got a headache. Just sit back and rest. I'll get this big rascal untangled. He'll taste good tonight. As Abel reached down to grab the fish, the big pike snapped at him. The teeth caught his right hand just above the base of the 5th finger. Ouch, he yelled and pulled back. The big fish fell to the bottom of the boat, but left 4 little gashes on his hand. Blood came oozing slowly from each gash. You little devil, I'll take care of you. He was able to stop the bleeding with a little pressure and then held the pike down with his foot as he put him on a stringer. Abel then hung him overboard and sat back. Finally, summoning the courage to tell his son something he wouldn't believe, Abel said, Son? Yeah? You ever heard of the Messiah? Yeah, the guy that's supposed to save us from the Romans. That's right, Abel said and went on. Do you know when he's coming or who he is? Teacher says it's nonsense, a bunch of hogwash, but what? You know old Zach, the priest who gives us Bible class? Well, he says this guy is coming soon and will smash the Romans to bits. You know, he is a smart man, old Zach. Some of the guys were talking and Abel said, listening intently to his son, who was unexpectedly doing all the talking. And we figured maybe it'd be Johnny, Zach's son. Abel's hand was beginning to throb a little now. Johnny? But Judas thought it was himself. Old Zach says the scroll state explicitly that the guy is to be born in Bethlehem, and you know Judas was born in Jerusalem. So being that none of us was born there, he must not live around here. You know anyone who was born in Bethlehem, Dad? Well, Abel paused. No, but I know someone who was born in Nazareth. Yeah, me. That's right, Abel confirmed. He looked down at the bottom of the boat and said, what if I were to tell you that this Messiah is to come out of Nazareth, not Bethlehem? Old Zach says, wait a minute. Abel held up his right hand. I read the scrolls too, and I found a place that Isaiah wrote where it says he will come out of Nazareth. Barabbas opened his mouth to protest, but Abel kept going. Son, I think you are that man, the Messiah. Get out of here. Me? I'm a football player. Can't be me. No, Dad, you are wrong. I think I'm right, Abel said. Prove it, Barabbas shot back. He was happy and didn't want any new complications in his life. Tonight I'll show you the passage and I'll take you to our meeting, Abel said. What meeting? Our regular Wednesday night meeting. Why should I go there? The boys all want to meet you. They've never even seen me. What do you do at those meetings? We talk and plan. Plan what? You'll see. Dad, one thing. Yes. Promise me you'll drop all this Messiah stuff. My friends will laugh me out of school. We'll see. Dad! Okay, it'll be our secret for now. The sun was nearing the horizon and Abel decided to drop the subject. He grabbed the oars and pulled. The boat moved forward toward the shore, a half-mile away.